The nature of positivity and its enormous influence on our well-being are potent concepts that we encounter in our thinking. There is a certain elegance to optimistic thinking that shields us from the pitfalls of fixation. There is an intriguing quality to positive thinking. In contrast to negative thoughts, they are less likely to be a constant source of stress in your life. Positive thought is content with being itself, in contrast to negative thinking, which tends to multiply and ensnare us in a web of misery. As the creators of our experiences, our thoughts unquestionably impact our bodies in profound ways. When we let our negative ideas get in the way of the positive energy that should be flowing through us, it creates blocks that have an internal reverberation. With varied degrees of acceptance, even traditional medicine acknowledges the correlation between our current mental condition and our physical vigor. Having positive ideas is preferable to negative ones, as most people would agree. As previously said, dwelling on negative thoughts can interrupt your energy flow and lead to tension. When you're under stress or thinking negatively, you may feel your body react physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's proof that the mind and body are intricately linked, and that imbalance may interrupt the life force's natural flow. Consider the instances in which you found yourself mired in pessimistic ideas. What was the physical response? Typically, it's not something you look forward to, is it? Keep in mind that pessimistic ideas are eager to have a family. They derive great satisfaction from drawing our gaze and inspiring others to follow suit. Their popularity skyrocketed. Negative ideas snowball into more negative ones. But optimistic ideas, being a guiding light that doesn't require constant reproduction, are ever present. They deftly avoid giving in to compulsive multiplication. The mind, content with its own simplicity, may be a maze of reflections that might ensnare us at times. On the other hand, healthy obsessive ideas are unusual. Is the reason why you aware? Reason being that positive, in contrast to negativity, has no desire to dominate. Constant, unrelenting repetition isn't necessary for it to take over our minds, for the simple reason that optimistic ideas don't require constant promotion. Instead of trying to steal our spotlight, they're content to merely serve as a helpful guide. Just think about how simple it is to say, "Life is beautiful." I'm not even referring about a deep lyrical expression. To put it simply, life can be fantastic. In addition, a positive affirmation like this is only a signal, a sign that points the way to a genuine appreciation of life's splendor. Thinking positively, like this, is like finding a roadmap to happiness. They refrain from attempting to bully us. All they're doing is pointing to the excellent stuff. Having a mindset like the one I've described about life allows us to fully immerse ourselves in the moment and make the most of every moment. Visualize a guiding, optimistic idea. At these times, it's really effective. What follows is an explanation of how to shift from pessimistic to optimistic thought patterns. It's crucial, but understanding anything beyond the idea itself will shift the game. Thoughts of positivity are nice, but they won't set you free. Finding a space beyond one's thoughts is the path to true release. Put it in your mind. You must pay attention to and identify with negative ideas. So long as you don't wake up, they can keep living off of you, as infectious to the mind. If you connect with it and nurture it, it will flourish. Like viruses, some thoughts may infect your mind or a specific region of it and stay there forever. The fact that these mental viruses may infect whole communities, countries, religions, or even political movements makes this an intriguing phenomenon to study. In the body, they replicate and establish themselves like viruses. Changing our minds requires more than just good intentions. Even well-meaning actions might exacerbate misery if we don't shift our perspective. Once a mental infection takes hold, it may cause unfathomable havoc. A wise person knows that the only way to achieve genuine freedom is to rise above the limitations of mind. Although positive ideas might serve as guides, the path to actual emancipation lies outside of the domain of constant contemplation. Once we grasp this, we may successfully traverse the intricacies of our minds and the society in which we reside, evading the clutches of mind-altering viruses. The return of sanity is like the gradual eradication of a virus. While it's far from ideal, it's a marked improvement over the total lack of consciousness that pervaded the viral invasion. A person's perspective on the world becomes warped and colored by the infiltration of a certain mindset when they fall prey to a mental virus. An example of an environment conducive to the growth of these brain viruses is prolonged internet use. You come across information that seems to be true, but it's actually just a complete fabrication that takes hold of your thoughts and starts to shape your reality. The conspiracy theory community is a prime example of this behavior. Many of them are culturally constructed works of fiction. However, some may have some truth to them. On occasion, particularly when it comes to political matters, I feel like the world is going completely bonkers. I won't say that the idea of conspiracies or strange events doesn't exist, but the takeaway is that you shouldn't become entangled in the conspiracy web. Engaging in a battle at the level of unconsciousness is pointless, in my honest opinion. Our responsibility is to be present, to embody a different awareness. In order to make a meaningful impact, we need to rise beyond the disorder and embody a level of awareness that goes beyond the dominant unconscious tendencies in our society. Choosing to think positively is an important first step, but when we take it a step farther, we reach a realm beyond just ideas. When we go into the realm beyond our thoughts, we often find that negative thoughts naturally diminish, particularly as our inner presence grows stronger with time. One wonderful thing about having happy ideas is that they may come to you on their own. When you do this, a large portion of your awareness starts to function independently of your thoughts. When you stop relying on persuasion and start living in the now, you'll notice a change towards more presence and an appreciation for life that comes from inside. I also discuss the importance of thankfulness on the channel for that very reason. Being grateful has a profound effect on one's life. Thank you isn't enough to express gratitude. It is a powerful symbol of our profound gratitude for everything in our surroundings, which amplifies our impact. Expressing gratitude gradually takes a back seat. One of the most beneficial practices you can adopt on your path is practicing appreciation. It opens your eyes to the little things, like the beauty in nature, that you would miss otherwise. The way light reflects the beauty of water's tiny bubbles, a living, vitalizing substance, is a simple example of how to find joy in the little things in life. Practicing gratitude is like engaging in a spiritual discipline. It requires you to be fully present in the moment and attentive to your surroundings. Expressing gratitude goes beyond that. It's all about seeing life in the present moment. On our path to enlightenment, everything we encounter takes on new significance. While it may appear to be a practice at first, it will eventually become second nature and fundamental to your way of life. Thankfulness is more of a sidekick than the center of attention, and ideas are like GPS systems. They lead us somewhere beyond our sphere of influence. The abrupt understanding that one is caught up in negative thinking patterns is the starting point for spiritual practice and self-realization for many people. Gradually, it becomes a breakthrough, a time when people's masks come off and they realize they are not a victim of their own thoughts, but rather an observer of them. You are at the very beginning of your path to enlightenment. The most important thing is to identify the main ideas that have affected your life lately. Reflecting on how these beliefs impact your understanding of others, the world, and your own life as a whole is an important part of this process. This insight suggests that presence or consciousness has definitely manifested, making it a tremendous stride forward. A new level of consciousness emerges as you become more aware of the character of your dominating ideas. The mental worlds that once ensnared you are now something you can only see. An optimistic or negative outlook is only one aspect. All it boils down to is realizing how your ideas shape your actual perspective. The impetus for enlightenment comes from this acute perception, this new presence. If you want to learn more about yourself and the world around you, this is the place to start. When one fully embraces this understanding, it opens the door to a transformational journey that goes beyond the constraints of habitual thought patterns. Think of presence as the torch that guides us to the darkest corners of our minds. Being fully present in the here and now has the power to propel our awareness beyond the confines of habitual thinking patterns. The practice of presence encourages us to let go of the past and the future and live in the here and now, fully engaging with every moment. By broadening our awareness in this way, we may break free of the shackles of negative, habitual thinking. Being fully present helps us to clear our minds of distractions so that we may see our thoughts. If we want to stop bad habits, we need to be able to see them before they take root, and this is where mindful observation comes in. Being fully present allows us to see things more clearly, which in turn allows us to question and overcome habitual ways of thinking. This is crucial in escaping destructive habits because it stops us from being identified with these ideas before they control us. Because being in the here and now allows us to tap into a higher awareness that goes beyond the binary of good and bad ideas. Being fully present also links us to a wealth of inner wisdom. With the help of this heightened state of awareness, we may discern the genuine character of ideas and select those that are beneficial to mental growth. Being fully present does double duty. It both heightens our awareness and counteracts destructive thought habits. Through its teachings, we may learn to change the way we interact with our ideas and develop a more optimistic and balanced outlook on life. Along this road, we find the liberty to select concepts that foster development, compassion, and happiness. This ongoing routine does double duty. It breaks us free of the shackles of pessimism and drives us toward a richer, more purposeful existence. The fact that we are in the midst of an intriguing inward voyage is evident. A firm belief in our collective capacity to break free of destructive mental patterns informs my perspective on this path. I don't see presence as a method. Rather, it is an ongoing process of becoming more attuned to the fullness of the here and now. I can tell you that something has been more evident to me along my journey, namely that our ideas influence our reality. Once we absorb this discovery, we are able to actively modify our internal narrative. Having a strong bond with the here and now is the bedrock of our conscious life. From my experience, I can say that the times I've had an unexplainable calm, clarity, and direction have been the times when I've been fully present. We have a profoundly good impact on the world around us and on our own reality when we resolve to live more mindfully and in the present moment. For individuals we come in contact with, each instance of genuine awareness and presence may be a beacon of hope. I beg you, though, to realize that this change is ongoing and not a one-time occurrence. Being fully present all the time helps us discover our true selves by removing the barriers that have been erected by our training. I have something important to tell you before we part ways on this voyage. You have an infinite supply of potential just waiting to be discovered. You may unlock your own potential and motivate others to do the same by making the conscious decision to live in the now with purpose and mindfulness. Therefore, welcome the adventure with self-awareness, bravery, tenacity, and most importantly, an unwavering faith in your capacity to rise above and thrive. I pray this message is a continual reminder of the limitless potential we each possess to build a life that is rich with love, purpose, and meaning, and of the transformational power of presence. I appreciate you coming along on the ride. Please consider giving our channel a thumbs up and subscribing if you found this video meaningful. In order for other people to get wisdom from this video, please share it with them. Plus, post a remark down below, disseminating your ideas, observations, and life stories. Once again, I appreciate you tuning in and being here with me. I will meet you shortly.